Hey guys, this is my last book, Annie on My Mind by Nancy Garden. And I kind of wanted to save this book for last because it was my favorite book that I read out of my Truth book. Um, like I said, Annie on My Mind is by Nancy Garden. Some of the main characters are Annie Kenyon, Liza Winthrop, Chad, Mrs. Poindexter, and Miss Baxter. Miss Stevenson, who is the art teacher, and Miss Widmer, who is the English teacher, Sally, and Walt. The book starts out with them not knowing each other, Annie and Liza. Like I said, her name is Eliza, but they all call her Liza in the book. The book starts off with them not knowing each other, and they actually ended up meeting at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Liza was there to do a senior project for her architect stuff because that's what she was trying to get into, MIT, so that she could be an architect someday. And Annie was there just singing, and Liza heard Annie and went up there to see, or she walked around to see who was singing and saw Annie, and they started talking, and then Annie started playing like this make-believe kind of a thing, and Liza couldn't help but smile and really like it, and so that's how they ended up meeting and becoming friends. And through the book, uh, Annie and Liza both realize that they're falling in love with each other, and they're both only seniors in high school, and Annie admits that she had thought about being homosexual before, and so she was kind of starting to get past the whole initial shock of it, but Liza had never thought of it before, so Liza was really really shocked and didn't know how to act around Annie. Like she didn't know if it was okay, like if it was sinful, was it not, like can she help her feelings, can she not. So that was a struggle in the book. So sexuality is a theme, love, the coming of age, and acceptance, they're all themes throughout this book. Actually, the teachers, Miss Widmer and Miss Stevenson, end up uh, being gay also in the book, and then we find that out at the very end. They lived together, and they fell in love when they were both 17, just like Annie and Liza are right now at that age. They're both 17, so they find out that they fell in love. And like I said, the whole book is like them going back and forth, like they're falling in love with each other, but things keep getting in the way. Like Miss Baxter ends up, or I'm sorry, Annie and Liza were watching the house for Miss Widmer and Miss Stevenson when they went away on vacation, and Liza took Annie there, and they had been like almost like living there. And actually, when they go to start making love on Miss Stevenson and Miss Widmer's bed, Miss Baxter comes knocking at the door with Sally, who is a friend of Liza at her school at Foster Academy. Um, and so they're caught in the act. Like Liza was like trying to button up her shirt. She didn't even have a bra on. She was like, her shirt was all like buttoned weird, and her jeans were on. And Miss Baxter saw Annie run out with like just her jacket on. So she had like nothing else on, just her jacket. So they were clearly caught in the act. So I'm just gonna read. I'm gonna start by reading like a passage on page 93. Um, and this is from Liza, um, trying to explain, I don't know, like what's going on to herself. She doesn't, like I said, she was very confused, and she didn't know like if it was okay to like Annie the way she was starting to like her, to fall for her. So this happens right after they kiss for the first time. Um, so she put her hand on mine, barely touching it. "It's all right with me," she whispered, "if it is with you." I don't know," I said. It was like a war inside me. I couldn't even recognize all the sides. There was one that said, "No, this is wrong. You know it's wrong and bad and sinful." And there was another that said, "Nothing has ever felt so right and natural and true and good." And another that said it was happening too fast. And another that just wanted to stop thinking altogether and fling my arms around Annie and hold her forever. There were other sides too, but I couldn't sort them out. So that's just showing, like I said, Liza being confused about her sexuality and not really knowing if it's okay to accept herself that way or if she should push it aside, kind of like what her parents would want her to do, or her school, of course, would definitely frown upon it, and did frown upon it when they found out later on in the book. I'm going to read another passage from page 211. This is when they had been caught at Miss Stevenson and Miss Widmer's house, and like they had to go, or I'm sorry, Liza had to meet with the board and have a discussion, like, because Mrs. Poindexter, who's in charge of foster, called the meeting because she thought it was so absolutely wrong and sinful, and how could two girls do that with each other? And that's when they find out about the teachers too, so the teachers also get in trouble, and Miss Baxter and Mrs. Poindexter are trying to say that they were an influence on Liza, and that's why Liza ended up doing these things. So Liza's just really pissed at this point and doesn't understand why people don't understand that she could possibly love another woman. She just doesn't understand why someone can't see why she would love another woman and why that's not okay. So this is from Liza again. I knew she was trying to be fair to everyone, not just to me. But oh God, I wanted to stand up and shout. No one had any influence on us. Miss Stevenson and Miss Widmer had nothing to do with it. What we did on our own. We love each other. Can't anyone understand that? Please, can't someone? We love each other, just us, by ourselves. Like I said, she's just really upset at this point. She doesn't understand why people can't just accept her for being, gay. And then I'm going to read one more passage. This is at the very end. And this is on page 234. And this is when, this is after the fact that Liza had stopped responding to Annie's letters because Liza was still afraid to really admit to herself and accept herself for being homosexual and loving Annie the way that she does. So Annie had been writing her letters over the summer while she was at a music camp, and Liza didn't respond. And throughout the book, we see that Liza keeps trying to write her a letter back, but she's unable to do it. And right at the end here is when Liza finally realizes that she needs Annie in her life, and she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to live without her. So she calls Annie, and this is what happens. Yes, Annie. Sorry, I'm crying. It's so good to hear your voice again. I know, I'm crying too. Switch tickets. Please, we can go home together. My vacation doesn't start for a couple of days. I'll meet you at Logan Airport. Just give me the flight number. Annie? Yes? Annie, Miss Widmer was right. Remember? About the truth making one free? Annie, I'm free now. I love you. I love you so much. And in a near whisper, I love you too, Liza. Oh God, I love you too. So it shows that Liza finally came into herself and grew up and accepted herself for being gay as much as Annie, and finally breaking free of that childhood sinful, bad, I can't do this, to growing up and becoming an adult and accepting the consequences and knowing that it's going to be tough, but that's just the way life is, and she loves Annie and wants to be with Annie. So it's showing it's showing the fact that this book is like a coming of age kind of book. This book I would for sure teach in my class. I think, yeah, Skim was the book that had a few F-bombs in it, and I read a quote with one of them, so I think that's good. I think that's appropriate for, I think, 10th through 12th grade if I wanted to teach that in my class, but I don't know if I would, I couldn't say that I would teach that book, which is also dealing with sexuality issues, as opposed to Annie on My Mind. I think Annie on My Mind was a better book, in my opinion. I liked the characters. I think they had more depth. I don't know. I just feel like it was a better book, and that was the one. That would be the one I would teach in my classroom. So.